Let's try this new Givenchy Glow Serum Blurring Foundation. It retails for $61 for 1 fluid ounce, and I got mine in the second to lightest color, 0C. There is one lighter color that is 0N, but this is a really good match, as you can see, for me. I also have to say, this reminds me of Armani Luminous Silk. This is 3.75, which is the lightest cool toned color that Armani has that almost matches me, and I want to compare these two because I think they're awfully similar. Okay, so we're going to start with the Givenchy on one side of my face. This is usually how I like to put my foundation on. Just use a brush after, I've placed it all over my face. So far, it does have a little bit of a smell that is actually quite pleasant. It's not too strong, but it's definitely there. So if you don't like perfume, you might not like this. Here is one application, and I think it looks really good. It is very, very glowy. I'm gonna go ahead and tamp it down with my Stands Out sponge just to get rid of some of that excess glow.
Not much coverage, but very glowy, pretty, kind of evens you out a little bit. Picks up a little texture right here because of the glowiness, but you can powder that down. Now what this immediately reminded me of is the Armani Luminous Silk. Here's the Givenchy. There's one lighter color than this, but it is neutral. This is a little peachy on the hand. It definitely seems to be oxidizing just a little bit, but once I powder, I think it looks fine on my face. It's worse if I go too light. This is just slightly too dark. It's kind of the same problem I have with the Armani Luminous Silk. Their lightest color is a little too dark for me. Not terrible, but see how this is like just a slightly lighter version of it. Let's try the Luminous Silk on the other side, and I'll show you the finish is really similar. So one of the things that I would say is, if you are like me, everybody just raves about the Armani Luminous Silk, but they don't have your color, I think this Givenchy is pretty much a good dupe for it, but they offer a couple of lighter colors. Okay, so it is not a straight dupe. I had been suspecting this all along. This is a shinier, picks up a little more texture, and has less coverage than the Luminous Silk. The Luminous Silk is still much prettier. I wish they had my color, but it is a very similar finish, and if you don't mind it being a little extra glowy over here, let's go ahead and give this guy the same treatment. This just comes, it's smoother. So this is actually my first time comparing the two. I had suspected when I put this one on that they were going to be really similar because it really reminded me of the Armani. But now that I am actually right here with you guys putting the two on, this is grainier and it is a lot more reflective, a little stickier. This one is much smoother with the glow. Armani, if you were out there and listening, if you could expand your shade range just a couple more down, I would sure appreciate it, because this is still the superior foundation. Okay, I just thought it would be interesting to try the two because I thought they were pretty darn similar. I will say that the new Givenchy, once you powder it, you'll see they look pretty similar. It does have our colors, but it's just not quite as refined as the Armani. Now, it could be that you don't see it there, but I'm seeing it in person. Hopefully you can kind of pick that up. This is, now that I've kind of patted it down, is doing pretty well. This actually still looks glowier even after you pat it down. When you pat down this one, it gets rid of some of that glow. They both look like you can't really tell the difference on the forehead, so I thought it would be interesting if you guys were looking for an alternative to the Armani. I'm going to go ahead and put on my Tower 28 concealer under the eyes on the spots, because neither the Armani or the Givenchy, they don't offer a lot of coverage, and I need some coverage right now, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to powder both sides with my Makeup by Mario. I think they're probably going to end up looking the same. I still miss my Givenchy. This is the closest that I found to the finish, and they actually have my color. So I do like the Makeup by Mario. It is still not quite the magic that the original Givenchy was. Okay, so as you can see, as soon as I put just the lightest bit of powder down, that shine gets taken away, the too much shine, but it does leave a little bit of a glow underneath. Okay, so there. I think that looks really beautiful. You can even see one of the nice things about these thinner formulas, you can see my freckles still sort of peeking through. You know, I still have, I'm not just a blank canvas, I still have some features that I can kind of work with so it doesn't look so unnatural. Okay, let's do the Armani side. We'll give it the exact same treatment. And I already used a little bit of Pat McGrath powder underneath my eyes. So right away, one of the things I do notice is it looks smoother over on this side. Something about the Armani just has a much smoother, even though it's got glow, a much smoother finish. That said, this is still really, really nice. Okay, so that's the two sides. This is Givenchy and this is Armani. I think I see, it feels very smooth. I think I see more diffuse glow underneath powder from the Givenchy side. So if you really wanted more glow and the Armani doesn't give it to you when you have powdered down, you might actually prefer the Givenchy. But really my reason for doing the two is that if you already have the Armani and you're interested in the Givenchy, they're awfully close. And if you already have a color that works for you in the Armani, you probably don't need the Givenchy. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm gonna go ahead and do a wear test today with both of these and we'll see how they wear as well. Overall, I just really wanted to show you how similar these two are and, you know, like, do you need to go out and get this or not? So we're gonna figure that out today. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup and then we will start the wear test. Okay, makeup is on. Already I can tell, like I feel like I'm gonna be greasy today. Definitely the Armani side I think is a little bit more stable, smoother, feels better. This is very juicy over here. Even after powder, like it's sort of like melded together after a little bit and I feel like I need to powder again. So I actually am gonna do just a little bit of finishing powder just to see if we can hold it a little bit. I'm gonna use the Makeup Forever. They're like micro finishing powder because I am a little bit oilier. I have been breaking out a little bit. My hormones are a little wild right now. So that immediately is, that's a finish that I am gonna be happier with. I did put some juicy stuff on my cheeks. I caved and got the new Westman Atelier. It's their like little juicy sort of like gel for the, shoot, well here, let me show you what it looks like. It is so pretty. They have had one in sort of a peachy color called Nectar Forever, but they haven't had a cool pink one until now. And this one I think is called Petal. I'll put it up, but it's gorgeous. But it's very juicy. And so that's what you're seeing actually over here. The powdering kind of gets it back down. So let's go ahead and powder, even though this side I don't think is quite as bad. I'm gonna go ahead and give it the same powder just so they have the exact same things on both sides applied to them for the wear test. And as you see, I'm really keeping it to the T-zone because I'm really just trying to get that really oily part of me, the part where I see a lot more texture. I just want that a little bit like more controlled. I already feel like I'm not going to do it, but I feel like I would like to use a setting spray with this. The One Size one is a good one to really hold it. I can't really describe it, but if you're an oily person, I can just feel like my skin is like, it's coming. So I can totally just feel that with this. It's funny because it's not usually when you get a little over dry, that's how you feel it. It's not that. I can feel it. So we'll see how this goes. But My guess is that I'm gonna be really greasy. So overall, my guess from the start is that both of these are better for drier skin types or very normal skin types. If you're real oily, I don't think you're gonna like either one of these, honestly, but let's go ahead and get this wear test started and then we'll find out, right? Other things that I am wearing, I am absolutely loving the new Merit lip liners that are really meant to be lipsticks as well, and they added a new cooler color to their lip glosses. This is gorgeous. I got one and went back and got 3 more. I love all of these colors. I kind of mix them together to get exactly what I want. It's like all cool colors, brown and mauves, like from light to medium to dark. So gorgeous. So at any rate, I need to do a reel just on these so that you guys can see the different ones. Merit's not cheap, but if you love that natural look and something that is just, they don't do gaudy colors. I so appreciate that. They're one of the very few makeup companies that go with very natural colors that don't look gaudy. I mean, and for me, I'm gonna pick that every single time. I'm really glad they've started adding more cool tones that are not gaudy. So awesome. Anyway, that's what I have on my lips today. Okay, let's get the wear test started. Okay, this is where we are starting. I think it looks great. This is really nice, very natural looking. They're both glowy. On this side, this is the Givenchy, this is the Armani. Anything right here, the glow is what I added. Up here, I have not touched it. So that is just the foundation. Yep. All right, so this is a pretty good start to the day. We'll see how greasy I get because I can just feel it. All right. Okay, this is 3 hours. This is Givenchy. This is Armani. Surprise! The Armani is greasier looking than the Givenchy. That I was not expecting. Honestly, the Givenchy, I'm just trying to see if it's the lighting, but I mean, the lighting is harsh. I'm in the car right next to the window. I mean, I obviously, just like I thought, oils are already poking through at 3 hours. I knew it was going to be an issue, but I would actually say the Givenchy's holding up a little better. That's kind of shocking. I'm seeing a lot more like texture and graininess over here as the oils break through on the Armani, so go figure. All right, I'll keep checking in. Here's 5 hours. As I felt I was going to be, I am greasy. Armani, much greasier, but the Givenchy is not much better. Neither one of these are great for oily skin or even like combo to a little bit on the oilier side skin, which is I'd say where I'm at right now. So I want to powder so bad, but in the interest of science, we are going to just go ahead and let this go and I'll check in at 8 hours. I think we already know this one is very glowy. And if you are already very glowy, you're going to be even more glowy in it. So unless you love powdering, I don't know if this is either one of these is a great choice for even moderately oily skin. All right. Okay, so it's 8 hours, end of day. You know, I really kind of had my final thoughts on this close to about 3 hours in when I started to get incredibly greasy. That is not a long enough time for me to want to grab for this particular, either of these, honestly. So this is the Givenchy on this side. This is the Armani on this side. I am just not really interested in super glowy foundations right now because I am plenty glowy all on my own, unfortunately. It's not pretty enough for me to be like, well, I'm going to wear this for a short amount of time and enjoy how it looks in that short amount of time, like going out at night or something like that. That's just not my preferred look. I can appreciate it at times, but when it makes me so greasy, it allows my oils to come through, it breaks up the makeup, and I just end up with like my hair was sticking to my face today. Even after the powder, once my oils had broken through, my hair was actually sticking to my face, mostly on the Givenchy side. Those are just not, it's not flattering, and it is not something that I want to deal with all day, because I'm going to be powdering all day. I'm going to be wiping it off all day. So, although I think these are both beautiful foundations, they are really best on dry skin. I think they're very beautiful on dry skin. Even normal skin that really doesn't get very oily in the T-zone, maybe a little bit, then you could get away with this. But if you're someone who is solidly dry on the sides and solidly oily in the T-zone, these are just not, they're really not made for our skin type. Okay, so we already went over the colors, the finish, who it's really good for. For me, final thoughts, this is a pass. But it is not because it's a bad foundation, it's because it is not the appropriate foundation for my skin type. I haven't had any reactions to it. I've actually worn it 2 or 3 days now, and no breakouts or anything like that. So I would say it's safe for, you know, acne type skin and sensitive skin. I think I don't have the most sensitive skin, but I do have a little bit sensitive skin. Same with this. I've had Armani for a long time and no problems there either. This is best for dry skin people who really want to have a nice glow to it. It does have a beautiful glow, especially after you powder it. It's got that where it's sort of lit from within. I think it's very beautiful, especially when you first put it on. But if you're super oily, it just doesn't last long enough. So before you end up like a total oil slick. Let's look up close just real quick, just to finish up here. So this is the Givenchy side. This is the Armani side. At this point, we are so oily, it's kind of hard to tell the difference. The Armani broke up and got oilier first. This one took a little bit longer, the Givenchy, but they both got to the same place within an hour or so of each other. So I would say they perform pretty similar. The Armani has a slightly more refined texture. And so if that's something that is important to you and you're looking for a glowy one, I would go with the Armani. If you already have the Armani, I don't think that you need this. They're just too similar. If you haven't tried either one and you're dry skin, I think I would slightly lean towards the Armani if they have your color. If they don't have your color, then the Givenchy, you know, if you need something a little bit lighter, the Givenchy is a good option that is just so very similar to this one. This is a very typical glowy formula. I have lots of ones that I've tried that are like this. These are not my favorite, but a lot of people absolutely love this kind of formula. So, you know, it's a luxury price. If you are looking for something that is glowy, refined, beautiful, and you like luxury makeup, then, you know, either one of these is good. I will say this one has scent. It's like, it's not terrible. It's not so strong that it like sticks with you. This one smells like, hold on, it's kind of sweet. It's very faint, but it's there. And if fragrance in something like a foundation bothers you, you're not going to like this. It is very light though, and it does fade. It's not one that sticks with you all day. So let me see. I don't think the Armani has any scent. No, it's on my nose. No, the Armani just smells a little bit chemically, and it doesn't stick with you either. So, okay. So I think that's kind of my final thoughts on these. Not for my skin type. Still beautiful, sort of high-end foundations. Very similar, minor differences. And if you already have the Armani, you probably don't need the Givenchy. That's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have tried this. I'm curious to see if, especially if you have a different skin type from me, how it wore on you, because I haven't been dry skin, like really dry skin for a while now, not since Accutane. And so I am guessing that this will do well on dry skin, but I can't test it on dry skin. So If you have dry skin and you've tried it and you like it or don't like it, let us all know below, because that's a great resource for all of us to share and figure out whether this is something that you want to buy or pass on. Okay, if you haven't subscribed and you like this kind of content, I sure would appreciate a like and subscribe, as it really helps my channel to grow, and I appreciate you guys being here. Okay, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in the next video.